Now, I want to go back to something you said earlier, because I know a lot of people will hear you say, well, Candace, you're speaking a lot about, the black family, but then you married a white man.
Yeah.
Dr. Umar would have a huge problem with that.
Yeah.
Are you familiar with Dr. Umar?
I have heard of him. I have not listened to him, I'll be honest. What is his argument, actually, if you could just repurpose his argument
He
for me?
feels
everything
that,
black.
No.
Yeah, yes, it is. Every damn
thing. He feels black men should be with black women because when you're talking about it from an economic standpoint, you want to grow the wealth as a black family.
But that doesn't...
And if you marry somebody from another race, then, your wealth will be with that person, and he doesn't like that.
I believe Candace Owens is a paid Negropean. One thing you have to understand about the white power structure when you're talking about Candace Owens and Jesse Lee Peterson's, okay? One thing you have to understand, the white power structure, through the government or through the corporate structure, they find influential Negroes and they buy them out in order to change the level of consciousness in Black America. Candace Owens was sponsored by the white power structure so she could begin to dilute the black first narrative. Candace Owens and Jesse Lee Peterson, these kind of Negroes, these types of Negroes are found and funded. They are found and funded in order to distract from the narrative. See, you have to understand something. Intellectual confusion is the enemy of mass organization, Brother Robert. Intellectual confusion is the enemy of mass organization. So what they love to do, they see me out here, right? So they say, okay, let's look at the black intellectual landscape. So they set back and they say, okay, we have to continue to control the narrative. Social network is making it difficult for us to control the narrative for Black America. Because you have people like Dr.UMAR Ifatunde, who's the leading black radical scholar in the world for African people. We have Dr.UMAR Ifatunde, who's the leading black radical scholar, period, in the African diaspora. And then underneath him, you have all of these copycats who take his content and repeat it. So he has a whole movement, the intellectual insurrection that Dr. Umar is leading. They say, okay, we have to take away from Dr. Umar's power in the social media sector because he's getting too many views. And black people are tuning into Dr. Umar as much as they tune into CNN. Black people are tuning into Dr. Umar as much as they tune into a Roland Martin. And Roland Martin is not as bad as a Candace Owens or a Jesse Lee Peterson, but Roland Martin is another example of a found and financed Negro. So Roland Martin doesn't push the Republican agenda. He pushes the Democrat agenda. Roland Martin doesn't push the Republican agenda. Roland Martin pushes the Democrat agenda. But whether it's Candace Owens on the Republican side or Roland Martin on the Democrat side, both sides are anti-black independence. Both sides are anti-black revolution. Both sides are anti-African family first. So whether it's Roland Martin feeding you integration or Candace Owens feeding you integration, neither one is feeding you Pan-Africanism. Neither one is feeding you Pan-Africanism. So the Democrats are financing Roland and the Republicans are financing Candace, okay? And both of those roads are diverting you from the road to liberation. The road to liberation is not paved with the Democratic Party or the Republican Party. The road to liberation is not paved with the Democratic Party or the Republican Party. Okay. So my voice, although I'm largely alone, supported by you all, is a very, very powerful voice. They're looking at most of the YouTubian struggle streamers and they're saying, well, those guys ain't doing nothing but talk about gossip, talking about each other, slandering black people, chasing celebrities, goofing off. They have no real constructive content. They have no real constructive content. It's all gossip and sensationalism. But this Dr.UMAR Ifatunde guy. So we have to intensify Candace Owens. We have to intensify Jesse Lee Peterson. We have to intensify Roland Martin. We got to intensify all the beta male Democratic plantation party pundits, because Dr. Umar is getting too powerful right now. He's getting too powerful. So to answer your question, my brother, I don't want to drive any more of my support base to Jesse Lee Peterson's platform unless I'm getting something out of it that's going to benefit the movement. If I'm not getting something out of it to benefit the movement, it's no need for me to go on Jesse Lee Peterson's platform. Rosie, you can go to the block party. You hating? I had to block you. And take that damn weave out your head and get some original hair for a change. Coming on my damn live trying to disrespect me with a head full of hair from the Chinese store. Get your ass up out of here. Hop off the live right now. Hop your Negro-pean ass off the live right now. Jay Hunter, why do so many black people deny their Africanity? Good question, Brother Jay. Why do so many black people deny their Africanity? The reason why we got all these I'm not from Africa Negroes running around this country, the very simple reason we have so many I'm not from Africa Negroes running around this country is because the white man has done a very great job traumatizing you into hating who you are. Let me say this again. The white power structure has taken 500 years and through brainwash, indoctrination, traumatization, he has convinced you that there's nothing good about being a black African. That's what this is about. That's what this is about. The white man has convinced you that there is absolutely nothing black and African that is good, positive, progressive, or will be successful. And that's why you got Negroes talking about they Cherokee Indians, they not from Africa. You got Negroes talking about they Choctaw Indians, they not from Africa. You got Negroes talking about they Seminole Indians with no African blood. You got Negroes talking about they from Mexico and Canada and anywhere but Africa because of self-hatred. Okay? If anybody has been brainwashed into thinking you're not from Africa, please go read Dr. Ivan Van Sertima. Please go read Dr. Yusuf Ben Yakinen. Please go read the books on not only they came before Columbus, African presence in early America, ancient African voyages to America. There's a whole library of research, real, authentic, documented research on the African voyages to America before Columbus, the African civilizations in America before Columbus, the African artifacts found in America before Columbus. It is undeniable. It is undeniable that we were here first. We were everywhere first. And if you are an African in this country, you do not descend from Native Americans, you descend from Native Africans. The Native Africans from Africa populated this country before the so-called Native American crossed the Bering Strait. And it was those Asiatics who crossed the Bering Strait, came to America, found us here, and we interbred with the Native Americans who came across the Bering Strait from Asia, and that's how you get your modern mixed race Native American population. That is how you get your modern mixed race Native American population. The red man is a mixture of the black man and the brown man. The red man is a mixture of the black man of Africa and the brown man of Asia. We were here first, but we came from Africa. And if anyone doesn't believe the truth, go do your research. The books are there. I don't know why y'all take instruction from uncredentialed, untrained, YouTubian armchair scholars. I don't understand why y'all take instruction from untrained, uncredentialed, YouTube scholars. These people who are telling you you're not from Africa, haven't published any documentation, have not done any research, have not been trained at any university on how to do the research, and you accept what they say to be truth. That's on you. I know who I am, and I know where I come from. Let's go to the next question.